promise you, I wish this was some shit that everybody remembered. The choices that you make today, my nigga, will literally affect your life and reality tomorrow, or the next day, or the next month, or the next year, or the next fucking couple years. And nobody is high enough to be looking down on others. No one's bigger than the program. Do not let this social media trick y'all ass out y'all spot. I don't care about nobody financial status, who they know. Nobody is high enough to sit there and look down on people. Nobody.
Hello everyone, this is Emmanuel Cook. We will be reacting to a new video today, so make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe down below, and let's get into the video.
Do not get that car note. I just watched a girl say that she make between $1,000 and $1,500 every 2 weeks, and she has to do Uber on the side to pay her $900 car note, not including the insurance and other bills on top of that. If you bringing in about $2,500 a month and you gonna get a damn Hyundai Sonata and the car note is $800 and your car insurance is like $500, what are you doing? The best thing that you can do for yourself is go get a cash car. Go get a cash car. The best car that I had was a 2007 Toyota Corolla. I got her in, I want to say like 2020 or 2021. And when I tell you she's still rolling, ain't paid a car note or nothing, never had any problems with it. And while my friends stressed out because they paying the highest car note, I am at peace every month, okay? And this is coming from real life experience. There was a time where I had a $500 car note and $500 car insurance, and I'm making like $2,000 a month. Half of my check is going towards the car. And you could get the car note, babe. But for now, how about you save yourself a lot of stress and just get the cash car. Get a cute little cash car. Then when you're more financially sound, you could go out and get whatever kind of car you want.
I just have to share this because it still amazes me. The best thing that my brother has ever had me do is buy a bulk of trash bags from Home Depot. It sounds crazy or just so insignificant, but when I moved into my apartment, my first solo apartment, just me, nobody else, 2 years ago, my brother helped me move in, and we went to Home Depot, and he was like, get these trash bags. It was like $18, and it was a big ass box of trash bags, and I'm like, bro, this is stupid. Like, what are we doing? He's like, trust me. Every time I go to change my trash bag, I'm just amazed because I still have so many trash bags left, and it's almost year 2, and I still have this same box of trash bags. Thank you, brother. Thank you.
So I will be using my iPhone 12 that I got in like 2021 until it dies, until I can no longer hold a charge on it and it just doesn't work anymore, because the thought of buying the exact same phone every single year, even though they say it's a new phone, iPhone 15, iPhone 16, iPhone 27, whatever the hell, they say it's a new phone, but it's the same freaking phone that it has been since I don't know, the iPhone 12. I feel like every other phone is just like mine, and Apple ain't gonna shake me down and have me buying a new product every single year when I don't need one. There's no need to have to buy a new phone every single year, especially if yours still works. You don't have to upgrade to get the newer model. You don't have to, just because Apple tells you to, or people on the internet tell you to, or the ads tell you to. You don't have to. You can just use your phone until it just doesn't work anymore.
So I've seen a lot of videos on my For You page lately about being house poor. So the whole question is, how do you avoid becoming house poor when you purchase your first home? First things first, my name is Jessica Rogers. I'm a licensed realtor currently serving the state of South Carolina. So this is what I want a lot of home buyers to understand. When you contact the lender to get pre-approved, the lender is going to, of course, have you complete a mortgage application. They're going to pull your credit, and they're also going to review your financial documents. Financial documents consisting of your pay stubs, your W-2 statements, possibly your tax returns, and your bank statements. They're going to review these financial documents, and then they are going to tell you how much house you can afford. But what I want you to do before you have that conversation with the lender is I want you to get out a piece of paper. Listen, the lender is going to qualify you for the home based on your gross income. We all know we don't bring home our gross income. We pay taxes, okay? Taxes and health insurance and possibly contributing to your retirement plan. So you're not bringing home your gross income, but that's the amount the lender is going to use to qualify you for the mortgage. So what you need to be asking yourself is, how much home can I truly afford? The lender is not taking into consideration your electric bill, your water bill, daycare expenses, car insurance, cell phone bill, family vacations, internet, none of that. The lender is not taking any of those bills into consideration. The only bills the lender is taking into consideration is that mortgage payment and any bills reporting to the credit bureaus on your credit reports, okay? Such as installment loans, auto loans, student loans, credit card debt, things of that nature. You know, you possibly have more monthly responsibilities than just those bills reporting to the credit bureaus. So you need to add those up. How much are you currently paying for your electric bill per month? How much are you currently paying for your water bill per month? How much are you paying in daycare expenses per month? How much are you paying in gas per month? How much is your cell phone bill per month? How much is your car insurance per month? You need to add, how much are you spending in groceries? Come on now, we know groceries, the price of groceries has increased substantially over these past 3 years. How much are you spending in groceries every month? And if you know that you like to eat takeout every now and again, take that into consideration, okay? If you know that you and your family take a vacation, maybe every summer you do a summer vacation, take that into consideration. Add all of that up. Add that up, and again, taking into consideration when that lender gives you that pre-approval amount. And you take that number and you say, okay, the lender says I can afford a mortgage payment of $2,000 per month. Well, after I add all these other responsibilities I have to that $2,000 and subtract that from the net income that I actually bring home, what does that leave me with? You don't want to be house poor. Okay? What does that leave you with after you pay your mortgage and all of your other responsibilities, not only taking into consideration those debts reporting to the credit bureaus, but also just our everyday expenses as human beings, gas and food and things of that nature. Okay? Date night if you're a married couple, or dating, whatever. Take all of these things into consideration. You don't want to be house poor. Don't buy at the top of your budget, and get with a realtor and a lender that actually care. Okay?
I don't know who need to hear this, but move away from your hometown. Do it. Do it. I did it after I got my heart broke. And let me tell you how my life did a 360, y'all. My life has been amazing since I moved away. Not only from the heartbreak, but because I have nothing to be attached to in this state. It's all fresh, all brand new. Like some J's that just got released. I went from Atlanta to North Carolina, and within a matter of months, my life changed dramatically. I don't know who needs to hear this. Once again, move if you're gonna move. Just do it. Don't think. Just do it.
Gonna be an unpopular opinion, but I don't fucking care if it's your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, your grandma, or your grandpa. If they're toxic and they only bring you negative energy and have always made you feel like shit and have made you go through a whole bunch of crap when you were young, and they still keep on dragging you down, then you have to get rid of them. You have to stop talking to them. You have to get them out of your life. It doesn't matter if it's your friends or your family. It's the same shit. You have to learn how to respect yourself and set boundaries, okay? Because if you don't respect yourself and you don't set boundaries for yourself and you just keep living in this constant crap that they're making you live in, then how do you expect to heal and see success in your life?
Something that's helped me save money in the long run is I stopped buying dupes. For a long time, I would buy cheaper versions of products thinking that I was saving money, right? But what I found was that even when I buy the dupes, I would still want the real thing. And I always end up buying the real thing in the end, which means that I was actually spending money twice or even more times. And I'm ending up with the same product that I wanted in the first place, plus a lot of clutter. Let me give you an example with this eyelash curler. In high school, I used to buy these cheap eyelash curlers from the drugstore every couple of months because the sponge would break. Did that for a while, and finally my mom took me to the mall and we got this Strumura eyelash curler. At the time, I thought this eyelash curler was so expensive for no reason, but let me tell you, I've had this eyelash curler for 5 years now. I've never had to replace it. So now a rule that I live by is if it's not going to be a one-time purchase, it's probably going to be a waste of money and clutter.
If you're broke, you don't need a car note. You need a bus pass. I'm sorry. We need to normalize living below our means, being frugal. Some people don't want this advice, but maybe some of you will actually take it. A few years ago, I got my car, a 2018 Toyota Corolla. It's all black, has a little touchscreen radio. I loved it, but I had to take out a loan for it. I have about $7,000 left on my car loan, and my car payments are always on time. But I wish I took my dad's advice when I was car shopping. He literally said, Rachel, go on Facebook Marketplace, get like $1,000, $2,000 car. He told me to get a little hoopty, and I literally didn't even want to hear him. I was like, nope, no way. I want like at least a car with like a touchscreen radio. But man, at that time where my dad gave me that solid advice, I wish that I was truly listening. I was so worried about like the bells and whistles on this 2018 car that I am now in debt because of it. Now, don't get me wrong, not all debt is bad debt, but I could easily not have a car note right now if I just listened to my dad. In that moment, I was afraid to live below my means. Now I'm paying $250 a month for a car. So don't be like me and take the bus. Mind you, I did not say Uber or Lyft. I said take the bus, get a bus pass, or walk. Carpool if you live in one of those places where a supermarket is like 20 miles from you. But if this life is not for you and you don't like it, click the link in my bio, learn how to make money online. Love you guys.
A quick reminder, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and let's continue the video.
The older that I get, I start to realize like the value of a dollar. And I don't mean like in a manner of idolizing it and stuff like that, but I mean as far as the manner of investing. When I was like 16, 17, 18, I was getting money rolling in like nothing in this world. I was making $1,000. I remember the day I had like $30 in my account and I woke up and I said, I want to get me a MacBook. And by 6 p.m., I challenged myself and said, I'm going to get it by 6 p.m. By 6 p.m., I had the money for that MacBook. That's a good investment, I would say, because I still have that MacBook to today. It works with a lot of the softwares that I need to use as far as like with Apple and stuff. But any of the other money that I have, I genuinely could not show or prove that I had money like that in this day and in this time. And when I look at older people struggling, it makes me wonder how much time have you wasted and how much money have you blown to the point where you're in a position like this. And I asked myself that question. I'm 20 and right now I'm a realtor, but if I have to ask myself how far would I be right now if I would have started to invest in my career and invest in, resources at that time, I would be further along than where I am now. I probably wouldn't even be in this city. But because I started a little bit later, it's not too late because I'm just 20. So I have a long way to go. And it's good that I started this young, but I think about had I would have started a little younger instead of trying to like blow money on unnecessary stuff. And I think that it's also a blessing that I'm starting at this time in a way of saying, as far as I learned wisdom about investing and about the importance of investments. But I just think about that a lot. A lot. If I just can advise some people who's probably younger than me or around my age, get started now, because it's really it's nothing. The fun that you're having today is nothing worth the rest that you're gonna get in a lifetime when you're older. This girl's body is tea, coke bottle. But if you could literally invest in this
Now do it. Even if you don't know exactly what you're putting the money into, put the money to the side. I promise you, I have so many items. I have Gucci slides that I can't even fit anymore. I have purses that I don't even like anymore. That's name brand. I have a Louis Vuitton belt that I don't wear. And I'm gonna resell it, but it won't be worth as what it was when I first got it out the box. So please invest your money. I'm sick.
One of the best investments that I ever made was buying my gaming laptop. The original price for this laptop, $4,500. But it is spec'd out, honestly. It has amazing storage. It has one of the best GPUs and CPUs. So it is extremely fast, hella storage, graphics, and everything like that. It is literally spec'd out. And I paid like half price for that. I paid about $2,200 for it used. But it was one of my best investments. And I've had it for about, 5 years now? And I literally use it every single day. And I have no issues with it whatsoever.
Listen, an emergency fund is the difference between having an actual emergency and a minor inconvenience. It really just depends on how much you've saved. Even if it's $10, $20 a week, you will thank yourself for it when that minor inconvenience comes up, because that's ultimately it is. Because if you have an issue that money can solve, it's not necessarily an emergency. It just becomes an inconvenience. Now, it may be a very annoying inconvenience, but you're covered. I went to the dentist 3 weeks ago for an annual checkup. She told me I may need a root canal. Love to see it, hate to see it. Anyways, I go to the orthodontist today, and he's doing his exam, his inspection, and then he tells me, hey, unfortunately, it looks like you might need three, not one, but three. Mind you, root canals, they used to be very painful back in the day, but I've heard they've been getting a lot better as technology advances. So then he tells me, hey, for one, it's going to be $450 with laser. For all three, it's probably going to be around $1,200. Now, if I did not have my emergency fund or my health savings account, it would have been the end of the world. Something like this several years ago would have actually made me sick for the rest of the day, because I don't know where the money is coming from. I don't have the savings. I would have had to play the shuffle game. Okay, what am I not going to pay, or what am I not going to do that I normally do during the week? But when you have that emergency fund, health savings account, you're like, listen, it's $1,200. Do I feel great about it? No. But is it the end of the world? No, because I have the savings for it. So reminder, just start saving, because those big emergencies that come up, minor inconvenience. Just pay the money, move on with my life.
It took me $18,000 to realize no car payment and a cheap car is the way to go. Here's what I'm driving currently, my beautiful 2003 Toyota Corolla with 165,000 miles. And this is the car that cost me about $18,000 over the course of 3 years. I don't know why it's tweaking like this, but it's a 2020 Kia Stinger. I paid $354 a month for 3 years. Mind you, this was my first car I had when I was about 18 years old. It was a Hyundai Sonata. I paid it off and decided to take the money after selling it and put it down on the Kia Stinger. I was working in insurance as a 19-year-old, and they told me, hey man, you're gonna want a car that you can love to drive if you're gonna be driving long distance to your appointments, blah, blah, blah. Basically, they kind of sold me on the concept of wanting a cool car to pull up to my clients' houses with. And that was the last thing I needed as a 19-year-old, to have an excuse to get a fancy car because I was making a little bit more money than people who were my age. So here's what I learned after having the car for 3 years and now getting back into a Corolla at 24. Having the fancy car was cool for about 6 months to a year, until I realized I'm paying so much money just to drive this thing, and it doesn't make my life any different. Yeah, girls might be like, dang, you got a nice car, but if you don't have game, you don't have game, whether you got a car or not. The homies loved it, but they also loved the simple cheap car. So it doesn't really matter if you got real homies, they don't care what you're whipping in. When I first hopped in the Corolla, it was pretty humbling because some people might see it as a beater, but after being in that nice car for 3 years and having fucking roll down windows, it's a little humbling. For me, maybe it felt like I needed to be humbled, because honestly now I have more money in my savings. I'm able to invest more money every month, and I can go on vacation or do the things that I want because I don't have to worry about spending and saving almost $400 every month on just driving. I don't see myself needing or wanting a car payment for anything in the near future. So for now, I'll probably just keep buying cars, putting some money into it, and enjoying the fact that I don't have a monthly payment every month. So that's what I learned from spending $18,000 on a brand new vehicle, and I'm happy now.
Okay, so by far the biggest scammers in America are credit card companies, and it's not close. And how they do it is that little interest charge. If you look closely at your bill, you'll realize something. You're never paying it off, because that's the point. Why would they let you off if you're giving them money? They also don't want you to know all the options you have at your disposal. And it's not complicated. You just have as many rights as them. I think most people would benefit from something called a nonprofit credit counseling agency. I'm not a sponsor for them or anything. I'm just paying it forward. Basically, what happens is they gather up all your debt and they negotiate on your behalf. How it works is they basically tell them, okay, they're on to you. They don't want to pay you anymore and you want your money, right? Credit card companies go, yeah, we want our money. So they say, okay, so you got to cool it with the whole interest thing. They know. So essentially, they make it so you stop paying interest and you just pay the credit card companies what you owe them. They get their money, you get a way, way, way cheaper payment, and everybody wins. Now, they will close your credit cards. Now, for the people screaming, my score, but my score, your score will eventually go back up after it takes a small dip because you closed your cards. Not too heavy of an impact. And more psychologically, really ask yourself, do you want to pay a couple $100 a month for a score that they really, really don't care about?
Apple need to slow down and stop making new products. They need to slow down now. They're apparently in the process of making the iPhone 16, and it's not going to look any different to the phones that we have now. These people, they launched their first product in 2007, and they've already made probably all the products in the world. There's nothing left to make. There's nothing left. They've made phones, they've made iPads, they've made watches, they made a TV, they made computers, they made laptops, they made everything. Like, what is left to make? And even back in the day when they had iPods as well, they've now made headphones, they've made AirPods, they've made, like, when I tell you, they've probably made everything that we'll ever really need. There's nothing left to make. So stop. They need to just stop making products now. Like, we're bored of it. Like, I'm happy with my iPhone 13 Pro. Like, I'll probably keep it for another 2-3 years. I'm okay with that. But you're telling me by the time I'm ready to change phones, you'll be on iPhone 20. Like, get a grip. If they don't pattern up soon, they're going to run out of business in the next 5-10 years. Like, they need to slow down.
A degree is not worth the amount of debt that you're going to get from it. As somebody who has a business degree in marketing, I low-key do not feel like most business degrees are worth the amount of debt that you get into. Like, I was very grateful. I went to a community college my first 2 years and then transferred to a 4 year, so I saved a bunch of money and was able to graduate debt-free. But that is not everybody's story, and the amount of money that a lot of these business schools charge to teach you business is crazy. Because I just feel like if you're not getting like a hard business degree, like accounting or something, it's not worth it to me. It's not worth it to me. Because most of my classes, I was just making PowerPoint. I was doing social media posts. I was kind of doing stuff I could learn on LinkedIn or that I could do myself by getting like a small internship or working at like a really small business in my area. Obviously, I wouldn't have a degree. That's what you're paying for is the paper, which that makes it worth it. But also, most of us ain't got the money to pay that much for a piece of paper and not even be guaranteed a job after graduation. With that said, go to community college if you can. Save some coin, baby. It's not gonna mess up your career trajectory. I work at Hulu. I went to a community college, transferred to a 4 year, and I'm still in the same places that people that went to Ivies in 4 years the whole time.
I'm gonna tell you some real shit. If you really want to move to a different state, do it. I'm really a walking testimony. I'm from Georgia. Literally, I was staying in Georgia. I was staying in Statesboro, Georgia. My rent was $750, and I could not fucking afford it. I started working, I started traveling to Arizona and working with my job, and then I just jumped off on a limb of faith and moved out here by myself. I packed up my Honda Accord. And drove 30 hours by myself to a new state. I don't have no family here. I ain't had no friends here. I didn't have shit here but me. And I took it off of faith of God. And that's what I'm telling y'all, go on a faith of God. I went from not being able to afford $750 for rent a month to my apartment. I pay $1,900 now by myself. It's just me. And I'm thriving. And it's easy to pay. It's so easy to pay every month. And I'm like, damn, I just couldn't even afford $700. and $50, $25 in Georgia. But when you jump off on that limb and you got God on your side, move. Fuck that you ain't got support. I had the dreams of becoming a great hairstylist. I'm a hairstylist. I was so scared. I was like, what if nobody booked me? What if this? What if that? My bookings are off the chart now. My bookings are off the chart in Arizona. I found friends. I can afford my rent. I can go out and do extra activities. My clientele is coming up. Just believe in yourself. That's all it takes is one great belief in yourself. And if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will. So I say that to say, baby, if you want to move, baby, move. Move, baby. Move. God just waiting on you to make that move. But once you make that move, God gonna handle you. God gonna see fit that you see it through.
Guys, if you are young and if you can, move. Move. This is the best advice I can give any young person. You may love your family so much. You may cherish them. You may have a great relationship with them. But at the end of the day, you have to start to make choices on your own without them always constantly talking in your ear. Always having something to say. As for me, I absolutely hate that. If I don't ask you for advice, I'm not looking for your advice. And as soon as I moved out of my family's house, my life just got extremely peaceful, no stress, no nothing. And now I am working so hard on things that I care about. And I am actively building my own future for myself. And I have no stress when it comes to family. Zero. And as soon as I move to Europe, in a few years here, literally even less stress. Now I only get to focus on my own life and building my own thing. That is the beauty of it. When you're young, I'm telling you, one of the best moves that you can make is to get out of that place and live your own life. Create a life for yourself from scratch. Create a life that you want on your terms. Instead of people always speaking in your ear and always adding their opinions on your life and what you do. I personally do not want anybody's input if I don't ask. I'm not interested. And guys, in the last month, I have made so much progress because I am laser beam focused on my actual goals instead of worrying about everybody else. I just worry about myself now. I've made so much progress in just a month. So I moved out April 1st, right? It's not even May yet. And I'm just goal after goal, hitting goals in such a short amount of time. You will be surprised and shocked how much better your life is once you're out. How much more peace you have. How much more time and energy you have for yourself to add to your own life when you don't have to worry about everybody else. That is the beauty of it. And I highly recommend to anybody. You may love your family, but move out. Start your life, make good choices, and keep it pushing.
It is tax season, and I feel like I see a lot of our people not utilizing tax season correctly and thinking this is free money, this is time to buy this and buy that to blow this money. No. When you get your taxes back, you need to actually leverage the amount of money that you're getting in order to benefit you. We need to get out of this mentality where this is free money, I'm about to blow it, I'm about to go on vacation, I'm about to buy brand new shoes. Like, this is why Black people especially, we blow money and we get rid of that money in less than a month of it hitting our account. So this is what you need to do with your tax money in order to elevate yourself and in order for you to even be in a better financial state than you were before you got tax money. One option, when you get your tax money back, pay off your debts. And I'm talking about your credit cards that have a really, really high interest, or if you had debt with your bank, or you can pay off your credit cards, which increases your credit. And then you can go and refinance that car payment that you have, and then even potentially pay off your car payment. Or second option, put that money into a high yield savings account and act like it's not even there. Put that money in a high yield savings account and continue living the way you were living before. Let that money grow and save that money either for a new emergency fund, a vacation, your wedding, or even potentially a down payment on a house. Because many times if you have children, especially young children, you are getting thousands and thousands of dollars back in taxes. So you can either put that money in a high yield savings account or even start a trust for your kids, okay? Even start a different bank account for each one of your kids, where that tax money that you're getting, they could utilize that for college, for school, or things that you might need in the year coming. Another option you can also do, this is what I did anytime that I would get taxes back, especially when I was in college. You get up to $2,500 if you spend more than $2,500 in school. What I would do, I would put that money back into school. So I graduated with no debt. Yes, so use that money to leverage getting a better education or a certification or learning about AI, getting certified in different things. Use this money to help you leverage yourself in order to increase your income, so you're not always just holding on and waiting for tax season to come and help you in some way. And lastly, set a budget for yourself. I would always buy something small for myself when taxes would come, whether it was a camera because I wanted to do content, or a specific pair of shoes, or just budget yourself to buy one thing, but utilize the rest of the money, 80 to 90% of the money, to help you leverage, help you create that website. Now you have the money, help you get that inventory for that business, help you go to the next conference that helps you increase your knowledge. Do something useful with this money, because it is not free money. This is money that they took out of your paycheck, especially in states where they're taking out state and federal taxes. This is money that you worked for. Let the money work for you and stop utilizing this money to go out, to get drinks, to get those new pair of Jordans, or just to frivolously spend the money and you're not going to see it, and you're right back to square one, hoping and praying for the following years of tax season to come. That's just not going to do anything for you. And I feel like more people need to talk about how to utilize and leverage your tax money or your tax refunds, because the way I just be seeing people spend their money and they're right back to square one in a matter of less than a month is insane. You don't want to keep being in the same financial state year after year after year. Poverty is a disease of the mind, and if you don't improve your mindset, you're going to be in the same position financially year after year, generation after generation, and you're not helping yourself or your children. Use this money to leverage yourself.
I don't know if y'all be remembering or not, but Christmas is the same time every single year. So why people end up in debt is really beyond me, because it's literally something that you can prepare for. But for the people who refuse not to prepare and are maybe still in credit card debt from last Christmas, let's talk about how you can get out of it. This is for any consumer debt that you might be in. The first thing you're going to want to do is organize your debt. Write down the due dates, the payment amount, the remaining balance, and the interest rates. The best way to probably make you think that you're in control of your debt and that you're making strides to get rid of it is to start tackling the smallest balance first. For this, you're going to want to pay the minimum balance and plus throw anything extra that you have left in your budget towards it every single month until it's paid off. And then so forth and so on. But once you feel like you've gained some confidence and you're in control of your debt, you might want to switch to the avalanche method. This is where you're going to tackle the debt that has the highest interest rate. If I were in debt all over again, this is where I would start personally. Simply because I don't like paying extra for anything. Something just doesn't sit right with me though, like spending money that you don't have to purchase gifts to impress people, or maybe you're just going over the top for yourself. I don't know. But you can literally prepare for this holiday. Like you can start in January. As soon as the holiday is over, this December, start in January to prepare for Christmas in 2025. If you know that you want to celebrate and you know you tend to spend a whole lot of money, you want to buy gifts, you want to enjoy yourself, you want to make it to all the holiday parties, I get it. Trust me, I get it, because my birthday is this month. So I make sure that I am in control and I prepare properly for this month specifically every single year. And I think you can do the same. Just make sure that you spend wisely and live lavish. I'm Krisha, your financial role model. Make sure that you're following me, because I'm getting your life and your finances in order for the rest of the year so that you can go into 2025 in control of your money. And don't be selfish. Send this to your friends and tell them to come on over here, because guess what? Life ain't no fun if you ain't got funds.
A person could have 1,000 problems until one of those problems is health, and then you only have one problem. I have no higher calling right now than to emphasize the importance of your health and on how to make it better. And you can feel better today just by implementing 3 simple things. When you wake up in the morning, instead of grabbing this black box that I'm talking on right now, grab you some water, add salt or add electrolytes, and hydrate. Number 2, spend at least 30 minutes a day mobilizing your body. Move. And last but not least, get into the sun. I promise you, if you do those 3 simple things, you will feel better. And when you feel better, you start to do better. We only get one life, and you deserve to live it to the fullest. God bless y'all.
I appreciate you guys watching the video today. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.